To be serious, yeah. Okay, this is not. This is a reply that is sort of a reply I wanted to make a while ago about compatibilism, or a comment I did, and I just want to say I'm not really fitting into your argument. Or I didn't watch Tooltime. This has nothing to do with really that conversation, so it's tangential, kind of something I already wanted to say. Though it was, you reminded me of it by talking about the compatibilism. I think that's a really straightforward way. That compatibilism is a pragmatism. It's like not being able to answer questions of will makes it seem like we can't answer questions of all the things. Well, this came up. I tend to interrupt myself. Okay, anyway, when I'm talking to Modern Mystic last rounds with him, um, I was sort of saying the same thing. Is that okay? If we admit it seems like we have will, let's just go and look in. How does this thing work? How does it seem like we run it? It might be useful to know, right? Uh, Even if it turns out that what we're doing is not running it, but how does it, and this is, as I said, potentially my bias in philosophy is I think that's the point of philosophy is if we could make an owner's manual to the mind, even though we don't own it, we are it, but yeah, sorry, an operator's manual. Okay. Um, so that's fine, that's all well and good, but that makes compatibilism a kludge, because in fact, if there is no will, none of those other things have any meaning. I mean, I think it's a practical argument of why there is will. It's just because it does help. Thinking you have a strong will gives you a stronger will. So even if that's just some sort of trick of the perpetual logic machine in nature, uh, it works. It's practical. So if your tests are, empirical evidence for things and the practicality of, well, if I try this, how does it work? Yeah, if you think you can make a difference, you have a more likely chance of making a difference. But I am all about how do we run the mind. So I think you and I should start a series specifically on that kind of theme, operator's manual or something. I mean, everything I talk about really touches that. But it'd be nice to actually have that as sort of the focus, and consciously that's what we're talking about is, and that's what we're asking because we don't know. It's like there was that old TV show, probably nobody remembers, called The Greatest American Hero, and the guy is given a space suit. I forget exactly how. I think he was. I don't think he just found it. I think he was deemed worthy or whatever, and then he loses the operating manual. What did I call that space suit? A superhero suit, and he loses the operating manual, and so he figures out he can fly, but he's always flying into walls and stuff because he has no idea, and he just has to figure it out by trial and error, and that's kind of what the mind is like. It's like a superhero outfit that gives you superpowers, and we don't know what they are, and we're pretty bad at using them so far. But every once in a while, somebody does something, and you're like, "Oh my God, that thing has superpowers." Of course, I'm a materialist. I don't really think they're super. They're just damn amazing.